sneakers, player editions. So these Kobe shoes that Caitlin Clark got, like I stated, is making big time waves around the NBA. And what's crazy about it all is that we all think this coming. We all knew the Caitlin Clark impact was going to be astronomical whenever her shoes come out. Any Caitlin Clark sneaker, well, it look like NBA players is definitely making it their business to run.
What makes this moment even more impressive is how intentional Caitlin Clark has been behind the scenes. According to her own words, negotiations for a shoe deal began near the end of her senior season at Iowa in spring 2024. Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour all came to the table with signature offers. Any one of them would have guaranteed immediate money, fast timelines, and instant branding. Clark didn't take the quickest path. She chose the longest one. She committed to Nike not because they could move the fastest, but because they could deliver the best product. That distinction is everything. There's a massive difference between securing a signature shoe and building a signature legacy. Clark understood that rushing a release might bring short-term hype, but it wouldn't create something that lasts. What's especially telling is what she prioritized during negotiations. Not aesthetics, not limited drops, not social media buzz. She focused on technology and performance. She wanted a shoe that could meet the demands of elite basketball at the highest level. Clark has worn Kobe models throughout her playing career because they fit her game. Low-cut, responsive, built for guards who rely on speed, balance, and rapid direction changes. But she's been clear about one thing. Her signature shoe will not be a Kobe replica. She wants something original, something engineered specifically for her style, while still delivering that same elite performance standard. That mindset is rare, especially for a player at the beginning of her professional career. Most athletes chase the fastest endorsement payout. Clark is chasing longevity. She's not just thinking about her rookie season or her first contract. She's thinking about what her shoe means 5, 10, even 20 years from now. That patience is already paying off.
Clark Ashley, speaking about her sneaker, and let's play it real quick.
I got to ask some questions because I'm such a huge sneaker fan. You said that you're wearing the new kicks coming up this season. For everyone that doesn't know, like, the process that goes into like making the sneakers, like, how long in advance has it been, or like when does it all start?
Honestly, the process started at the end of my senior year when I was at Iowa, because I was deciding what shoe company I was going to go with. And I talked to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and they all offered me a signature shoe, obviously some faster than others. And you know, everybody knows Nike makes the best product. It just kind of takes a little bit longer. And, you know, I grew up wanting to be a Nike athlete. Every kid does. Nike, Jordan, like that's the...
Caitlin Clark has officially crossed into territory no WNBA player has ever touched before, and the numbers make that impossible to ignore. Her Nike Kobe 6 Player Edition, not even a signature shoe yet, has become the most worn sneaker across NBA courts this season. Not Jordans, not LeBrons, not legacy Kobe colorways that players have trusted for years. Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever Kobe 6 is logging more court time than any other shoe in the league, averaging between 24 and 33 minutes of play per game. Let that sink in for a moment. NBA players, with unlimited access to every sneaker Nike has ever produced, are actively choosing a colorway tied to a WNBA rookie. This isn't hype-driven scarcity. It isn't a one-night coincidence. It's consistent league-wide pattern. Nike has released more than 60 different Kobe 6 colorways over the years. Players could easily match their team colors. They could wear classic designs like the Grinch, Chaos, or All-Star editions. They could lean into nostalgia or trend cycles. Instead, they're repeatedly selecting navy and gold, a colorway directly associated with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. That choice matters. NBA players are creatures of habit when it comes to footwear. They wear what feels right, what performs under pressure, what gives them confidence on the floor. When that many elite athletes independently make the same decision, it stops being about aesthetics and starts being about influence. This isn't just the Kobe effect. Kobe colorways have existed for over a decade without producing this kind of dominance. This is the Caitlin Clark effect, a cultural moment where performance, identity, and symbolism collide. She hasn't just entered the sneaker conversation. She's reshaped it, and she's done it before her signature line has even launched.
At the same time, I don't want it to be a Kobe. I want it to be something very unique to me and a little bit different. And, you know, I kind of think about like what's kind of been important to me when I think about...
So she let it be known, like, she like wearing Kobe's, but she don't want her shoe to be a Kobe. Now, do I think it's going to emulate Kobe for us with the design of the shoe? Possibly. But for us, the technology with the shoe, Caitlin finna tell us that this is going to be something like we've never seen before.
I like shoes or sneakers, and I think like just the chaseability of them, and like you want a certain sneaker or like you want a certain colorway. So I think that's like going to be probably the most fun part. I know
One small comment about a potential Kansas City Chiefs colorway reveals how far ahead Caitlin Clark is thinking. That isn't just branding, it's cultural crossover. She's already imagining how her sneakers could extend beyond basketball into broader sports culture. Andy Reid coaching on the sidelines while players wear Caitlin Clark sneakers? That's the kind of visual that transcends leagues and breaks the internet. But let's focus on what's happening right now, because the data tells a story traditional sports media has been slow to fully grasp. When NBA players choose their shoes, it's never random. These athletes have access to every model, every colorway, every exclusive release. They receive boxes of free sneakers weekly. No restrictions, no limitations. Their footwear choices are statements, whether intentional or not. And the statement they're making is clear. Caitlin Clark's colorway matters. They aren't wearing her shoe because it's trendy. They're wearing it because it performs, because it feels right, and because it represents something bigger happening in basketball culture. This level of adoption doesn't come from marketing campaigns alone. It comes from respect inside the game. NBA players don't wear shoes they don't trust. Period. What we're seeing is an organic endorsement from the most competitive basketball league in the world. No comercials, no contracts, just choices made under bright lights, with careers on the line. That's influence you can't buy.
It's Caitlin Clark, bro. Caitlin Clark is the face of not just a franchise, but the face of women's sports. Hopefully the WNBA can figure this out. Gold activity, that navy colorway is so sexy. Somebody else said this is the Kobe effect. If you put her name on any other sneaker, guarantee is not selling like Kobe's. I don't know, man. I don't know. It would have been a different color.
Caitlin Clark has reached a point that no WNBA player in history has ever touched, and the proof isn't coming from marketing slogans or social media hype. It's coming from NBA hardwood floors. Right now, the most worn sneaker in the NBA is not a Jordan Retro, not a LeBron model, and not even one of the classic Kobe colorways that have dominated professional basketball for over a decade. It's a Nike Kobe 6 and the Indiana Fever colorway associated with Caitlin Clark. NBA players are logging between 24 and 33 minutes per game wearing that shoe, a number that places it at the very top of all footwear usage this season. That fact alone changes the conversation. NBA players are not casual consumers. They have unlimited access to every sneaker Nike has ever produced. They receive free pairs constantly. They can choose based on comfort, superstition, nostalgia, hype, or aesthetics. When that many elite athletes independently choose the same shoe, it stops being about trends and starts being about trust, performance, and cultural relevance. Nike has produced over 60 different Kobe 6 colorways, including legendary releases like the Grinch, Chaos, All-Star Editions, and team-specific designs for nearly every NBA franchise. Yet players are bypassing all of that history and choosing navy and gold, a colorway tied directly to a WNBA rookie. This is not coincidence. It's cultural impact. What makes this even more remarkable is that Caitlin Clark does not even have a signature shoe yet. This is a player edition, not a flagship product built around her name. And yet it has surpassed every other sneaker in actual in-game usage. That has never happened for a WNBA player. Not for Aya Wilson, despite her signature deal with Nike. Not for Sabrina Ionescu, despite her successful line. Not for anyone. Clark is generating crossover adoption at a level that usually only appears after years of brand building, not before it even begins. Behind this moment is a level of strategic thinking that most athletes don't show until much later in their careers. Clark began negotiating shoe deals near the end of her senior season at Iowa in spring 2024. Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour all offered her signature contracts. She could have taken the fastest option, rushed a product to market, cashed in immediately, and checked the box. Instead, she chose patience. She chose Nike not because they promised the quickest release, but because they offered the best long-term product. That decision reveals the difference between chasing a check and building a brand. Clark consistently emphasizes performance over hype. She talks about technology, responsiveness, and how a shoe actually functions on the court. She has worn Kobe models throughout her career because they fit her game. Low cut, quick reacting, designed for guards who change direction at full speed. But she has also been clear that her signature shoe will not simply be a Kobe clone. She wants something original, something engineered specifically for her style of play while maintaining elite performance standards. That mindset is already paying dividends. NBA players trust Kobe models because they work. When those same players gravitate toward Clark's associated colorway, they're not making a statement for social media. They're making a competitive decision. NBA athletes don't wear shoes they don't trust in real games. Careers, contracts, and reputations are on the line. Their footwear choices are endorsements without contracts. This is where traditional sports media has lagged behind the reality. The narrative often frames Caitlin Clark's popularity as a fan-driven phenomenon fueled by college success and media exposure. But what's happening now goes deeper. When NBA players repeatedly choose her colorway over dozens of alternatives, they are validating her influence from inside the game itself. That kind of recognition cannot be manufactured. The data strengthens the argument even further. The second most worn shoe in the NBA this season is a Kobe 5, also in the Indiana Fever colorway, logging over 1,020 minutes of court time. Same team colors, same association. The third most worn shoe falls far behind, creating a massive gap that highlights just how dominant Clark-associated footwear has become. This isn't a single spike, it's a sustained pattern. This level of adoption signals something brands understand very well. Caitlin Clark moves behavior, not just attention. She sells products, she fills arenas, she drives ratings, and now, she influences the choices of the best basketball players in the world. That combination is rare. It's the difference between popularity and gravity. Nike clearly understands this, launching Clark's major campaign on Christmas Day, the same date as Michael Jordan's legendary holiday commercial decades earlier, is not an accident. Nike does not spend millions on symbolic timing without intention. That date is a message. It says this athlete is not just another endorsement deal. She's a generational bet. This creates an inevitable tension within the WNBA ecosystem. Established stars like Aya Wilson have built resumes filled with championships, MVPs, and individual accolades. By traditional metrics, they have earned the spotlight. But sports culture doesn't move on resumes alone. It moves on connection, visibility, and the ability to pull new audiences into the sport. Clark brings a different kind of power, one that converts casual viewers into fans and fans into consumers. Nike doesn't operate on sentiment or fairness. They operate on momentum. They follow heat. Right now, Caitlin Clark generates more of it than anyone else in women's basketball. That doesn't diminish the greatness of others, but it does explain the shifting landscape. Brands chase relevance, not balance. What makes this moment historic is that Clark's signature line hasn't even launched yet. Usually, the shoe creates the cultural moment. In this case, the cultural moment is creating the shoe. NBA players are already validating her influence before Nike has fully unleashed its long-term vision. This is not hype, it's behavior. And behavior is the most honest data point in sports marketing. Caitlin Clark hasn't just entered the sneaker conversation. She's rewriting how influence is measured in women's basketball. And if this is what happens before her signature shoe exists, the next phase is going to redefine what crossover success actually looks like.
No way from Kobe at all. But it would have been it wouldn't be these top two colorways. It's like if y'all don't, how many Kobe shoes is it? Kobe 6 shoe count, because this is where I'm finna kill the critics right here. 60 colorways. Kobe